Hey, first off, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Mukhar Kodash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that teach us his word, and shalom unto the hopeful elect upon the four corners of this earth that's trying to make it up out of here. So his lesson that I was going to bring out was going to be about, it was just going to be a breakdown on Ecclesiastes, the first chapter. This is just Ecclesiastes, the first chapter, and here's the breakdown on it. So here, I'm going to just start it from the top. Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 1 says, "The words of the preacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem." So first off, I want to get a scripture to show exactly what it's talking about here, because it says it's the son of David. If you don't know who the son of David is, then we're going to get a scripture on that right now. In 2 Samuel chapter 12 verse 24, it says, "And David comforted Bathsheba his wife, and went in unto her, and lay with her. And she bare a son, and he called his name Solomon, and the Lord Yahweh loved him." So right there, that's showing who who the speaker of this chapter is, Slakia. That is showing that that it's the son of David, which is King Solomon. So that's who the speaker is. Verse 2 says, "Vanity of vanities, said the preacher. Vanity of vanities, all is vanity." So what Solomon is talking about here is that everything in life that we look at, everything we aspire for, everything we look for, the things that he's going to be speaking about in this chapter, all of it is vanity. The things that he speaks of in Ecclesiastes in general, until the last chapter, he talks about all things being in vain. And here I'll move on. It says, verse 3 says, "What profit hath the man of all his labor which he taketh under the sun? One generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever." So it says, "What profit hath the man of all his labor which he taketh under the sun?" A man can work for something his entire life, and he'll work for it, and he'll attain it. But sooner or later, that time is going to come where he passes away, and his generation is going to be gone, and the next generation is gonna come, and eventually his work that he worked for won't even matter. His legacy that he made won't even matter. It shows that is in vain, because what's the point of trying to make such a legacy like that when the generations is going to pass, and eventually it's not even going to matter in the first place? And here I'll get a scripture on that. I'll get Psalms chapter 144 verse 4. It says, "Man is like to vanity, his days are as a shadow that passeth away." So so it shows right there, like we're here for the time that we're here, but eventually that time is going to catch up with us, and we're going to pass away. We are going to go to the spirit world, and that next generation is going to roll in, and so it's going to be like clockwork. Here, I'll move on. I don't want to jump the gun. So I'll start back at verse 4. It says, "One generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. The sun also ariseth, and the sun goeth down, and hasteth to his place where he arose." So like the sunset and sunrise, that's a clockwork thing that's going to continue to happen. It happens over and over, and that's like those generations leaving and them generations coming. One generation passes away, and another generation comes. And it's like the sun, when it goes down and it comes back up. That's something that you can count on. That's something that the Most High continues to have happen. You can always count on that next generation coming. You can always count on that next sunrise. It says, "The wind goeth toward the south, and turneth about unto the north. It whirleth about continually, and the wind returneth again according to his circuits." And that word circuits, it's to start something, and then once you end, you're back at the start. and you're doing that circuit over and over and over. That's what Solomon is saying that life is like. That's why he's calling life vanity, because you start and then you end, and then it's just a start again, and it's the same thing over and over and over. And it's the same thing throughout those generations, which is going to speak on in a couple verses after this. But verse 7 says, all the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full. Unto the place from whence the rivers came, thither they return again. So, like the rivers and seas, just like how I talked about before with the sun and the wind, it's gonna go unto the sea and then back into the rivers from which they came, and it's just gonna continue to happen over and over. So verse 8 says, all things are full of labor, man cannot utter it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. So that's another thing. That's another thing of vanity, because a person can live and see something spectacular. They can reach such things, and they're not going to be satisfied with it. They're always going to want more. The man is always going to want more and more. For example, you have something like the slam dunk contest, something like that. You see someone. At first, when the slam dunk contest first came out, you saw someone do a regular dunk, and at that time, that was amazing. That was the peak of dunking at the time. Everybody thought that was a thing, but they wanted to see more. So look at today. You'll have somebody do a front flip dunk. See someone do a 360 but between the legs dunk, something spectacular. But people are always gonna want to see more. We've seen what we feel like is every dunk, and we want to see more. We're just not content with that, and that's that vanity, because we are gonna continue to want to hear something more, continue to want to see something more. There's always going to be more that we seek for, and so living like that it's unto vanity, because like Solomon's saying, it's all unto vanity. What's the point if we're going to continue to seek more? We might be at the capacity of something, and we're going to still want more. So you're going to be searching and searching for nothing. That's what he's saying man is doing. We're searching and searching and searching for what? So here I'll get verse 9, and this is the verse that I was waiting on. It says, the thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. So what is this verse talking about? This verse is talking about reincarnation, pertaining back to verse 4 when it says, one generation passeth away and another generation cometh. That's talking about that reincarnation, because the generations are going to continue to repeat. It says the thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there's no new thing under the sun. Just look at history and look at time. Time is literally like clockwork. Time repeats itself, as the phrase goes. Time repeats itself. And so, just like America right now, America is a reincarnation of Egypt. It's a reincarnation of Babylon. Time keeps repeating itself. You got so many accounts of people in the Bible that are exactly like how people are now. There's no new thing that's going on under the sun, and that it's going to continue to be that repetition of generations until we get into the kingdom. But pertaining to this chapter, staying on topic of this chapter, history continues to repeat itself. So there's nothing new, and what's going on now is what's going to be going on in the future if these generations continue to go on, because that's how time is. History is going to repeat itself. It's going to be the same thing over and over. So verse 10 says, is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It hath been already of old time, which was before us. So you have things that are new pertaining to this generation, like technology or something like that. But the events and things that are happening in this world are of the same things that were happening in the past. The wickedness that's in the world, the type of people that are in the world, the things that are of this world, the vanity of this world is just like in the past. It's just time is a reincarnation of itself. Time is going to continue to reincarnate itself. Verse 11 says, "There is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after." So, and with this verse right here, it's pertaining to people who are reincarnated, because Salakia, we are all reincarnated. We are all reincarnations of past people, of our past selves, but we don't remember anything that happened in our past lives, do we? Nor are we gonna know what's gonna happen in our lives after this. So it says, "There's no remembrance of former things," which is our past lives, "neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after." So that reincarnation, we're not gonna remember it. We don't remember, and we're not gonna know what's gonna happen after we pass away. After who you are passes away now, that next reincarnation of yourself, you're not going to know what's going to happen, nor is that reincarnation going to remember yourself now. So here, I'll get James chapter 4 verse 14. It says, "Whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow, for what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time, and then vanisheth away." And this scripture goes with that chapter, because it puts things into perspective, and you realize how bleak your life is. You realize how much of a blink in time that your life is. Realizing that things are just repeating itself and going over and over, realizing that reincarnation in time is going to continue to happen, that the sun is going to fall and the sun is going to rise, and that's going to continue to happen over and over. You realize how bleak that your life is. You realize that life is a vapor, and it appeareth for a little, and then it vanisheth away. We feel like our life is long. 80 years old. A person living to 80 years old, we feel like that's a long time. But in reality, that's just a blink. Especially to the Most High and Yahweh Shai. A 1,000 years for them is 1,000 years for Yahweh Shai is only a day in his time. The 2,000 years that have passed, that it's only been 2 days for him. So the years that you live are, again, just a blink in time. So here, I'll go back to Ecclesiastes chapter 1, and I'll continue at verse 12. It says, "I, the preacher, was king over Israel in Jerusalem." So again, this is talking about Solomon. And it says, "And I gave my heart to seek and search out by wisdom concerning all things that are done under heaven. This sore travail hath the Most High given to the sons of man to be exercised therewith." So Solomon was trying to seek out, and ultimately he was trying to seek out the keys to life. He was trying to seek out what the point of all of this was. And he had the facilities to do that. Why? Because he was a king. He had all the riches to test that out. He had all the fame to test that out. He could do almost wherever he wanted, because he was the king overall Israel. It says, "I, the preacher, was king over all Israel and Jerusalem." And just for reference, I want to get a scripture on how Solomon came to be that. I'll get 1 Kings chapter 3 verse 8, because Solomon is the most wise man to ever be on this earth. So he had the wisdom to do things like that. He had that in him to be able to seek out these things in life, because he had that wisdom. But how did he get that? Here, I'll start off here. 1 Kings chapter 3 verse 9, it says, "Give therefore thy servant an understanding heart to judge thy people, that I may discern between good and bad. For who is able to judge this thy so great a people? And the speech pleased the Lord Yahweh that Solomon had asked this thing. So verse 9 is what Solomon asked the Lord. So, the Lord was pleased by what Solomon asked him. Here, I'll get verse 11. It says, And the Most High said unto him, Because thou hast asked this thing, and hast not asked for thyself long life, neither hast asked for riches for thyself, nor hast asked the life of thine enemies, but hast asked for thyself understanding to discern judgment, behold, I have done according to thy words. Lo, I have given thee a wise and understanding heart, so that there was none like thee before thee, neither after thee shall any arise like unto thee. And I have also given thee that which thou hast not asked, both riches and honor, so that there shall not be any among the kings like unto thee all thy days. So the Most High gave him those riches. He gave him that ability to be royalty. He gave him that wisdom. And so Solomon, he had all these things to his disposal. He had all these things that he could use to try to he had all of this, so he was able to try and seek out to see what the point of life was. He put himself on that mission. So verse 14 says, I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and vexation of spirit. So what Solomon's saying right there, he's looked through all of the walks in life, all that you could commit yourself to, and all of it's vanity. All of it is pointless. Essentially, none of it matters. And it says that which is crooked cannot be made straight, and that which is wanting cannot be numbered. I communed with my own heart, saying, Lo, I am come to great estate, and have gotten more wisdom than all they that have been before me in Jerusalem. Yea, my heart had great experience of wisdom and knowledge. So Solomon's about to say how he's about to use what he has. Verse 17 says, And I gave my heart to know wisdom, and to know madness and folly. I perceive that this is also that also is Salakia. I perceive that this also is vexation of spirit. So Solomon gave himself over to that life of living in wisdom, and he gave himself over to that life of living in madness and folly. He was getting the experience of both, so that he can see what both were like, so that he could see what just testing out different walks of life, trying to find the point. And that's what Solomon put himself through. That's the walk in life that he put himself through. That was his task and mission throughout his entire life, from when he started putting himself on that mission. From then on, he was trying to figure out what the point was. He was trying to figure out what's not vanity. So verse 18 says, For in much wisdom it's much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow. And what does that mean? The more that you know, the more truth that you know, the more sorrowful you get. Just like us in the truth, us knowing the truth about this world, us knowing what the reality of things are, it brings us grief. It brings us sorrow. We can't wait to get up out of this place. Now that we know the truth of everything, now that we know the deceit that's been put on us, we can't wait to get up out of here. We're going through it with this knowledge that we know. So like Solomon said, the more you increase in knowledge, the more you increase in sorrow. And just like with this walk in life he put himself through, the more he learned and realized, the more of a dark hole he started to put himself in, realizing that things aren't, that all of these things that he was doing was unto vanity. And further on in Ecclesiastes is going to reveal ultimately that the point of life is to follow the Most High and His commandments. But before Solomon comes to that revelation, he is he's gonna give himself over to a lot of different walks in life to realize that they are in vain. And so that's that summary and breakdown of this first chapter. That's all I really want to touch on with this. And hey, with that being said, I'm gonna give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rechar Kodash, and Shalom.